What's going on, people? Now, today's video is about why men cannot be victims at all. And I'm gonna break it down. First, I'm gonna talk about why men are, as image bearers of our Creator, of God, we first have to represent the structure the society needs to thrive. We set the tone. We don't let nobody else set the tone. And if the tone is, and if a bad tone has been set, then it's our job to stand against it. You know, we're not enabling nothing that will be ultimately against us as men. But let's talk about being an upholder of truth. Let's talk about the truth of this world. First of all, we know that the world hates the truth. That corruption and all kinds of evil run this world. We know that when we speak against the world and we speak against the going narrative, we will be hated. We know this as men. We're not looking to be liked or accepted. You know, but what we will not do is accept being bowing down to someone else. See, at first, being a man is accepting that we can enact our own will to begin a thought process that causes the change that we seek. And that starts by not being weak, not having a defeated mind. You know, just because, if anything, because circumstances are bad, that should encourage us to stand up and speak out more, to fight with our virtue and our honor and our dignity, to not just roll over to any bad kind of regime or injustice. That should motivate us to be more productive, more personally responsible, to be wiser, to seek knowledge and wisdom. See, these things are what men do in adversity. We don't complain. We self-improve. We build. We grow. We develop ourselves. We build ourselves. Matter of fact, a man is always planning for the worst while hoping for the best. And we just don't see this in today's society. You would think if people really believe things are as bad as they say they are, how much of their lives are they taking seriously? You know, if you really believe the system is oppressive, then we must stand and know the value of personal responsibility. We're not even seeking the world to like us. Only wanting to be liked is emotional. A man must have identity from within. He must know truth from his Creator. Not needing to be validated by no one else, but already validated with his alignment with the truth. See, there's never a time in our lives as adult men where we can be victims. Because we know the only thing that stands between this world going to the 10th level of hell are the men that refuse to accept it. That's it. If the men fall, there's nothing to prevent the evil from growing and accelerating and consuming everyone. And as men, we don't like to be dependent. We will not beg. And our complaints will always be followed with action. The only words that we should speak are the productive words, are the words that encourage the purpose and the goal that we seek. You know, let's talk about racism or the system, for example. If we really believe as men that this system is oppressive, then we must take advantage of every opportunity that we have. We must be wise and personally responsible to be aware of the traps and the issues in this society, to avoid them and to understand how to maneuver in them if we find ourselves in that situation. Never fearful, but always having that warrior mindset to not give up, to realize your only stance against oppression is a stance that you make. You're not waiting for no one to save you. We'll vindicate ourselves. No big change in all of time came without sacrifice, came without a strong work ethic, strong values to uphold structure that kept the very necessities of life that we needed to fight the system. First, men know it takes a war to fight a war, and it takes will to fight will. The will of your enemy should not be greater than the will to overcome your enemy. It is not normal for a man to not enact his survival instincts. It is not normal for a man not to want to rise up and accept the challenge against adversity, against all oppression. This is something that started in various aspects of our lives as men. Part of how we strengthen our bodies is to challenge ourselves with stronger and heavier weight, is to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, into new situations, and forced familiarity with that new system until it becomes easy. And then once it becomes easy, we beg for a stronger system to build ourselves and to adapt to. See, it never stops. The only thing that stops a man is death. Knowing he lived his life on purpose to represent the truth, to uphold the principles that he's aligned with within himself. And I think we just have to stop complaining. Men, take responsibility for the women you choose and the reason you choose them. Stop expecting the blind to see. It is our responsibility to know what is true and then enforce the truth in the world, not expecting the world to accept it, but giving the world no choice but to. And as men, we have to realize that us assuming leadership is our only option. Stop expecting the women to live the example which will only come from a man. Children are blank slates. They can't do what they don't see. Women can't do, women can only do that which we allow. Stop being complacent in what you allow in your life. Set standards. Don't compromise. Don't conform to any evil. Don't conform to anything weak. Being a victim is not an option. And I just wanted to give a pep talk about these things because I don't know about y'all, but I never expected the world to be easy. I never wanted it to be, because I realized what makes me better is the adversity in this world. What makes me stronger is the fact that I must grow. I must push myself to be better, become the better me. And what does that are my challenges. Nothing grows without a stimulus to grow. So we can't be fearful of what we think is immutable oppression or systems or something. Well, we know that the Most High is the goal and the purpose of life. We know that upholding the statutes of God and the truth is what gives life its very meaning. We start this on a micro level, beginning with ourselves, with not accepting weakness within ourselves, being responsible for the errors and the mistakes we make ourselves, to learn and grow from them, and to enable and enact values and structure that prevent us from making future bad decisions. A man wanting to master his own appetite, his own vices and appetites, so that we can't be exploited by someone using them against us. Honing into his senses to be always aware of his environment and his enemies. we have to realize if we're going to say we're oppressed, then we must begin in the mind to overcome the oppression. You must first believe that your will is your power. Your will is given to you by your Creator to make choices, to do the things that you can change while working on the things that you can't. The more momentum we do as men to correct our own weaknesses within, the stronger we become as a unit to set the model and act leadership for the women and children and the younger men to follow. Every generation, we get a chance to live the example for a new age of men to model, which is why we never can give up. Because those people that are stuck in their ways, they can't defeat time. And neither can the legacy that men leave behind. And we have to realize that's what this is about. It's about leaving a legacy to represent the Most High and represent the best versions of ourselves, so that we can actually bring some light to this world, to be productive, to enact our visions, to really extract the most out of this life that was given to us, to represent our gratefulness and our thankfulness to the Most High, that He's given us a tool of creation to represent Him on this earth. Adversity is just fertile soil to grow something amazing. Anything given to you easy will leave easy. Anything that is too easy will never realize its full value and will not be fully appreciated. So I just wanted to bring this up, man. It's really just something on my mind. I think as men, we should never have a defeated mindset. We should always crave strength, growth, and improvement in all things. And I'll just leave it at that. Peace.